Megan is the general manager of the Rocky Mountain region at AT&T, where she leads a team of mobility sales professionals. Megan is known for developing her team, focusing on the customer experience, and building solutions for some of the toughest business problems. Please join me in welcoming Megan Bishop.
Thank you, Devin. Good morning, University of Utah Utes. I am thrilled to be here this morning with all of you. You are the reason I got out of my sales forecasting meeting with my boss today. So I want to just start by thanking all of you for that. I lead a team. I'm Megan Bishop, General Manager of the Rocky Mountain region, just like Devin said. I lead a team of sales professionals across 5 states in the Rockies. We sell mobility and security solutions to small and medium-sized business customers. And on this, let's see if I can get the slides to okay. So on this first slide, this is some of my Utah-based team members and sales professionals. Many of them are University of Utah graduates, and they are led by Amanda Barker. Amanda is based here in Utah. She's sitting right over here. Amanda will be here for the career fair later today, so please take the opportunity to introduce yourself to Amanda at the career fair. I am based in Boulder, Colorado, where I reside with my husband and my two children, and I spend a lot of time here in Utah with the team and our customers. Please connect and engage with me on LinkedIn and Twitter after this session today, and I look forward to hearing from any of you in the future. I have been extremely fortunate to spend 27 years in sales and sales leadership with AT&T. So I've been supporting customers across all industries of all sizes, across our manufacturing, retail, and financial verticals. I am proof that you can spend your entire career in sales and have a rich and exciting experience and a differentiated experience over the years. The main message I want to impart on all of you today is that when you consistently take a customer-focused approach to selling, it can help define your brand and help you win business in the marketplace. And you can do this regardless of the company you're working for, how well known the company is that you're working for, or the industry or the products and services you're selling. So, this quote from Steve Jobs is simple and impactful. Apple is masterful at putting the customer experience first. You might have thought that having spent so many years in technology sales and with AT&T, I would come here this morning and talk to you about how technology can help customers improve productivity, increase efficiency, and grow revenue. But that's not what I've learned over the years of my career. What I have learned is that when you put, similar to what Steve is saying here, or said here, when you put the customer experience first and at the center of everything you do and work back toward the technology, you can be wildly successful. And it also defines your brand and it follows you everywhere you go, regardless of who you're working for. It also results in a more satisfied client, deeper relationships, and in the end, sales is all about relationships. These logos are really just here to get your attention. Prior to working for these are some of the most recognizable brands in the world, right? Prior to working for AT&T, I worked for McDonald's Corporation and Disney. And my learning, McDonald's and Disney are superb at defining exactly how customer interaction should take place, and standardizing how work and guest interactions are done. At Disney, everyone points with 2 fingers. adheres to a very strict dress code, and creates magic moments at every opportunity. There are many companies that prioritize the customer experience. Some do it better than others. But at the end of the day, the execution of the customer experience comes down to the employees in the organization, and there's often not a manual on how to do it or a process guide. And there's no one really there to tell you exactly how to exceed customer expectations. So you, all of you, will be a large part of the customer experience. Customers are buying from you, and you happen to have a well-known or a not so well-known brand behind you, or a really terrific product and service. But in the end, your relationship and your interaction with a potential client is the one that is impactful and makes the biggest difference as to whether or not the client's going to spend their money with you. Your actions and knowledge and experience transcend the brand. No matter who you work for, it is up to you to create your personal brand, as it will follow you throughout your entire career. Choosing a favorite client is kind of like choosing your favorite child. It's not easy to do. And however, there is one client over the years that is extremely memorable for me, and that is Chipotle. So I met with Chipotle when they had just 100 locations across the US. The team that I met with at Chipotle consisted of the CIO, an IT manager, and an administrative assistant, a basset hound, and a golden retriever. The humans and the dogs were in every meeting I attended. The original request from Chipotle was simple. They needed a connectivity solution to capture hourly, daily, and weekly sales. This was a straightforward request. My team and I had delivered this many times before, and I was a young sales professional at the time. I was the lead on the account. I had great technology to sell them. I was eager to show it to them, to diagram it, to propose it, to show them how our self-healing network could help their little burrito company. The administrative assistant was adamant that she couldn't have 3 invoices sent to her for each store location. She was struggling to approve payments for the locations they had today, and her request in each meeting was that she had 1 invoice that she could easily approve and pay each month and send over to accounts payable. My extended team, my technical team, they said, this isn't germane to the solution. We've got the best network. Megan, we've got this. This is a slam dunk. No problem. They're going to choose us. We don't need to deliver a single invoice. We had partnered with a third party, so delivering a single we were going to deliver at least 2 invoices for each store location. Something was different about this customer. I don't know if it was the dogs, the CIO, the young CIO, younger than I was, in the black leather jacket, whether they had casual dress every day, not just on Fridays like most companies did back then. There was just something different, and my intuition told me that we needed to deliver something that was very differentiated from our competitors, because all of my competitors could deliver the same technology that I could, right? So there was more to this company than met the eye. And this was before Chipotle was a Wall Street darling or had 3,100 locations across the US like they do today. The customer and the CIO didn't really underscore the billing solution as a deal breaker, but in the end, paying attention to the needs of all of the stakeholders in the meeting, everyone that they brought to the meeting each time, including the rambunctious dogs, was really important. My intuition said I had to find a solution for this and provide an unmatched customer experience. The way I did this was I found sponsors internally. My immediate team had dismissed this request. I was on a quest to figure out how we did this and differentiated the solution. I asked a lot of questions. I asked for advice. I asked for help. I I had to take a few risks. And I was able to find a small team in the Northeast that could do this, that was providing this type of billing solution for a few of our top customers, our largest customers. And I just needed concurrence that we could do it for my little burrito customer. The ultimate decision to move forward with our solution had nothing to do with the technical aspects of the deal. The CIO only invited companies to bid that he knew could deliver the technology he needed. He knew more about my technology than myself or my entire team. They were looking for a flexible partner that was invested in their business and that wanted to see them be successful. And as they made a big splash in the fast casual restaurant industry. What was perceived as a very minor request ultimately was the reason we were awarded the business for this company that was about to explode. Within a few years, Chipotle grew from 100 to over 500 locations. And as I mentioned earlier, they have over 3,100 locations today. Here are my 7 tips for being a terrific customer-focused sales professional. Number 1, be authentic. No one has the corner on 100% of the information. If a customer asks you a question in a meeting and you don't know the answer, tell them you don't know the answer, take a note, follow up with them, and right then and there, you're defining your personal brand. Always remember that your personal brand matters more than the logos on your LinkedIn profile. Number 2, take and compare notes. Oftentimes at AT&T, we take several people to each client meeting, and I have never left a meeting where everyone comes out of that meeting having the same understanding of what was said by the clients or having the same action items. It's really amazing how differently everyone hears things. So take copious notes and compare them with others. Make note-taking your superpower. Ask for advice. This third one is probably my biggest tip, the one my team has adopted the most and the most rapidly. I've never met anyone who doesn't enthusiastically and quickly respond when you ask them for advice. Sometimes when you're trying to get things done at work or in your company, it can feel hard. You may need to escalate to get what you need, and escalate has such a negative connotation for most people and within most companies. No one wants to get anyone in trouble, but everyone loves to give advice. Number 4, there is one thing that all customers have in common, regardless of their size or industry. And I've worked with customers of all shapes and sizes across all industries. And that is, they all expect you to do what you say you're going to do. So it's very important to meet and exceed their expectations and further, very important, and this is a really critical reminder, to meet and exceed the expectations of your own internal company and leadership team. Number 5, know your business, know your customer's business. In the case of Chipotle, it was just as important for me to know how my technology solution fit into their business as it was, and it was just as important for me to know how the salsa and the guacamole was made as it was as my technology solution for them. So just really important to do your research, put together thoughtful agendas, thoughtful questions for every customer meeting. Do your homework, be prepared. Yes, you will still have homework in your careers. Number 6, take risk. You don't win 100% of the deals you bid on, so you can afford to take some risk. No one has 100% close rate, right, Amanda? Yeah. So you can definitely afford to take some risk, ask for advice, ask for referrals, use that and leverage that information you get in, as you move forward in your career. Number 7, unlock the power of the combined brands. Again, it doesn't matter how well known your company is or how big your brand is. You don't have to work for a Fortune 500 company to figure out what the commonalities are between your company, your products and services, and your customer. And then take that one step further and figure out how your personal brand fits into that equation and enriches the experience for the customer. I hope this real life example of my career, my story, a few nuggets of information, some 7 tips are helpful as you think about your career in sales. Remember, if you don't become a sales professional, sales is a skill that can benefit you across multiple disciplines. These skills are needed across many industries and jobs, so you should feel very proud to have cultivated these skills. In closing, I will leave you with a quote that was on the back of my hotel room door this week during my stay in Salt Lake. And the quote is, "You're only given a little spark of madness. You mustn't lose it." So actor and comedian Robin Williams said this, and I hope all of you use your little spark of madness to deliver an unmatched customer experience throughout your career. Thank you for your attention and time this morning. You are a fantastic audience, and I think we do have a few minutes for questions, right, Devin? If there's any 10 minutes remaining, if there are any questions, I'm happy to take them from the room, and I understand we have some overflow upstairs so they can pop in over the mic. Yes. Devin's going to come with a microphone, yeah.
Thank you. Hi, my name is James. I was just wondering if you had any specific tips for where you go to look for information about a company besides just looking at their website, and is there any particular people you try to seek out to seek information from, or other sources? I'd love to hear that.
Yes, great question, James. Wow. So, right, and you are all fortunate and probably challenged in that there is so much information available at your fingertips, via the internet, right, and the device in your hand. When I started my sales career, that wasn't necessarily the case. I think we might have still had encyclopedias. However, I will say, so I led the McDonald's account for 6 years, and one of the things that I really enjoy doing anytime I can find a book that's written about my client, and McDonald's and Disney, there's lots of books written about them, but you'd be surprised how many times your customer might show up in a printed article or a book. McDonald's wrote the book on vendor relationships and vendor partnerships. So there was a book out there that I read when I had them as an account that really illuminated for me what they're buying, how they made buying decisions over the history of their company and today. So if you can find a book, great. But I always tell my team, find everything publicly available. You never want to ask a question to a client when the answer is available in the public domain, right? Think about insightful questions that you can only get from them. In the case of Chipotle, they didn't. There was a frenetic pace. There was an energy in the room and in the headquarters office downtown Denver, but no one knew the explosive growth and what they were about to do in the restaurant industry. So, does that help, James? Anyone else? Hi.
How do you keep, since you have like an account with McDonald's for 6 years. How do you keep them like staying and not want to leave to like Verizon or something like that? How do you keep them happy?
That's a really great question. So retaining customers, a maniacal focus on the customer. You know, keeping all the, there's a lot of things at AT&T. There's a lot of laundry dirty laundry that I do not want to air, that I don't want them to see. So really ensuring that how my company shows up, how we deliver products and services, that they are shielded from what's going on behind the scenes. We never want to share exactly, you know, what the challenges were if we don't have to. And I think just really listening. Make listening your superpower. Make note-taking your superpower. If you listen to the customer and you follow up, it's pretty good. There are some macroeconomic, geopolitical issues, politics that can be really challenging to your customer relationship. So you have to kind of be paying attention to those too. But it's important not to let that be too noisy, right? If you are consistent and listen and follow through, I think those are really, really key things to focus on to retain customers. Anyone else? Hi.
Could you talk a little bit about like the competitors that you and your team deal with and how you kind of convey a competitive edge to a customer?
How I convey competitive edge to a customer. So this is where your personal brand really comes in, right? Because like the services my team is responsible for positioning today, they're very much a commodity service in the marketplace, right? So ensuring that you show up, do what you say you're going to do, deliver that unmatched experience, really important. Also, what I tend to not focus on the customer, as much as possible, I don't focus on my competitors in my discussions with my clients. What I'm focused on is how can I differentiate my solution? How can I provide value add for your business? Because if I start talking about my customers and I go down that road, I mean, you know, we can get into a conversation about 5G, right? That really derails us from the customer and their objectives to grow revenue or be more productive or improve their operations. So if anytime I can, if I can take it back to the customer and their business, again, you have to know their business better than you know your own. And if they have questions or want to understand, the network differences, are they apples to apple? Are we apples to apples with Verizon? Are we apples and oranges? We can take them through that. We can give them demo devices. There's lots of things we can do to help them experience firsthand the difference between our services and our competitors. But really, it's letting that, go ahead, try it out. Take it for a test drive. And then let's focus on these objectives that you have. So just really, really laser focused, reading everything you can ahead of time before you go into the meeting. So you don't have to get into that discussion so much. You never want to disparage your competitors. Never, ever, ever, ever do it. Your customers will do it for you. If you're in sales long enough and work for a company long enough, customers will definitely tell you the differences between you and your competitors. Sometimes it's not good. So then you do have to overcome those objections. If you don't know the answer, go find it and follow up. Great question. Hi.
Hi. My name is Claudio, and I'm a product marketing manager. And so part of my job is to enable the sales team with collateral. And so, in your opinion, what could I be doing? What is the best thing that I could be doing to enabling those sales?
Oh, wow. Oh, I love this. Okay. Yeah. I think when you're thinking about the collateral that you need to deliver, providing something that's easy to read, easy to understand, lots of white space on the screen, simple non-industry terms. I think these are all like basic things. I mean, I think no one reads everything on the slide or on the slick, right, or in the collateral. No one reads the whole PowerPoint presentation. Frequently, if when you present to a customer, in the rare cases when you might have a paper copy or something, customers are always flipping to the back. They always want to know what's the bottom line, what's the price. So ensuring that you have content that's super relevant, updated, and just easy to read, easy to digest, knowing no customer, no salesperson is going to read everything you publish. Right, team? Yeah. So keep it simple. I would say keep it as simple as possible, as succinct and to the point as possible. Very good question. Anyone else?
Time for one more.
Okay.
There's one more.
The pressure's on.
Hi, Heather.
Hi. I wanted you to describe maybe a little bit of the risks, like when you say take risks. Can you describe a little bit about that?
Yeah, so you start working for a company, any company, you go through training, they give you, here's the products and services you're selling, here's the pricing, here's the collateral that you need to use. When I personally think about taking risk, it's really about what I know about the customer and how I can incorporate that into my solution and how I can do a better job for them and just really push the envelope a little bit. Maybe I'm not 100% sure how it's all going to work out in the end, but taking a different approach with the customer and how you deliver the solution, kind of going off script a little bit, starting out the meeting by asking them a question. Ask them a question that none of your competitors are going to ask them. Start talking about something that has nothing to do with your business or why you're there. I think there's lots of opportunity to just really push that envelope, and don't be afraid to take a risk or take the next step to make your brand stand out, to make your company's brand stand out. I mean, we want to do that ethically and considerately, but at the same time, again, when you're working with commodity services and you have lots of competitors, and there has to be something about you that stands out and is different for that customer, and you need to do something different. So whether it's every customer I've had over the years, I've toured the can manufacturing plants. I've spent time with people outside of the core group that's making the decision. Ask for sponsorship to meet different people. It's going to take an investment in time to take those risks, but I really think it's important to differentiate in the marketplace. And I think that's it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Megan. Let's give it up for Megan.